Greetings, it's Good Friday. What's good about it? I'm in the woods, that's what's good about it. Now today's video is going to contain me using and lighting a fire with my L.T.Wright machete, cooking a semi-foraged meal for my lunch, and I'll be doing some work, cordage work with brambles. It's not exactly a follow-on from last week's video, but it is relevant. Okay, hope you enjoy. So first thing I'm going to do now, get a fire going, get a brew on, and then I'm going to clear some brambles because I didn't get enough last week, but I did bring this week my L.T.Wright machete because I want to try it out using it for what it's meant to be, brush clearance. So there's the brush, and that is basically all bramble. So I'm going to get a fire going first, and then I'm going to hit that then with a machete and see how it works. I may use a machete as well to help me light my fire. Bone dry hawthorn twigs. As you can see, it's a bit blunt, and I think the angle of the bevel isn't helping either. It's not really intended for shaving wood. Pathfinder pot today. Tell you one thing, it's warm today and it's really warm by the fire. Now it's time for extermination of the brambles. Just remembered I need to be selective. So here's the first one. I got a few more to go. This thing seriously needs a sharpen. Years ago we actually had a teepee on this spot I'm clearing now. It was a black plastic sheet teepee with a fire in the middle, covered in hessian sacking. It was okay, it was a bit small, got very warm in there, but it served its purpose for a year or two and down it came. Well, I've discovered that you can't be very selective for your brambles when you're chopping it down with a machete, so I'm going to have to go to plan B and go back using a knife and cutting them low. So I'm going to be some time. Such is life. So, time for a cup of tea now. Well, the fire lighting was a bit rough with that machete. Wasn't brilliant, but it did the job. But it's pretty easy up here, as I said last week. You know, everything's bone dry. There's a bit of a breeze always coming through here. So it was pretty easy to light it, really. I'm surprised how well it sparked on the ferro rod. That went up a lot quicker than I thought. But knife for the day. Puku number 3. Puko, not Puku. So that's having his first outing today. So tea time's over and I got a lot of work to do now prepping these brambles. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to make the fire into a star fire. I'm going to need to cut some slightly bigger rounds, so I don't want to be coming back and forth putting twigs on all the time. I want to concentrate on my cordage. So I'm going to cut some 3 lengths so big of larger material. So just push them in a little bit. Unfortunately, that's soaking. But that one's good. Another good one. Right, so I've gathered some more bramble stems and now I'm going to process them down into fibres. Now, after last week's video, I had a comment from a gentleman, Mr. Thrifty, asking me why didn't I pound them to separate the fibres. And to be honest with you, I didn't even think about it. So what I'm going to do now, because the way I've been doing it is a slow process, I'm going to take one of these now and I'm going to split it down and I'm going to pound it and I'm going to see how that works, see if it's quicker and neater. I'm using my thumb as a stop so I don't slip and push my left hand into the blade. That's the way to do it. Plan B, I'm doing it on a rotten log. Whichever way you look at it, it's a slow process. Right, I got some work to do. In the round this time. Now, I don't think bashing him in the round's a good idea, because that's all it's doing is bashing the inner. It's not really separating it from the fibres. So after a few little experiments, I think I've found the best way to do this. It's basically split it into 4, make a snap, pull that off, bend it back, and snap again. And bend the inner pithy layer away from the actual good stuff. Now, obviously it works a lot better when the camera's not on me, just like everything in life. And now the fire's decided to give me hassle, but yeah, this is definitely the best way to do it. So don't bend that down, bend that. Oh my god, I'm dying. I have to blow the fire. There we are, fan the fire, make flames, smoke goes away. Tell you one thing, you'll never forget your paracord again after doing this. Well, there's all my fibres. I don't think I've got enough and it took me forever. I'm going to have a bit of lunch now and then I'm going to weave it up. But I'm not holding out much hope. I think I'm on a loser here. So for lunch, I'm going to have nettle soup and rams and bannock. So I'm going to get on that now. I've gathered a reasonable amount of nettle heads, and obviously I know they're nettles because they're stinging me. Get some air back into the flour. So in here now I've got flour, powdered milk, salt and baking powder. When you're doing bannock, you mix, you don't need. So I've mixed it to the right consistency. I want this dry because it's going to go in the pan dry. I think I've got to clean the pan first. Ah, I forgot the ramsons. Typical. I'll go and grab a few ramsons now and shove them in there. Avoid the stalks, not that they'll do you any harm. I think I'll fold it. Now what I've found with these Pathfinder skillets, the base is really thick on them, but the outer walls are thin. So if you put them on the heat, what I find is it gets too hot around there, but stays nice and hot. So the plan is I'm going to put it on the fire, try and get the heat just on the thick underside. That's looking good. That down. I'm going to clean this up now.
So the pot on the water, and then I'll put the tea, and then while the Bannock's cooking, I put the nettle soup on. I have got what's that thing called? Stock cube as well, chicken stock cube to go in there. The chances are it's going to be a bit bland. With no meat.
Now I've got my dirty trick. How do you know your pan's hot enough? Spit in it. Now one thing I've learnt now doing Bannock, don't put your flour, if you're doing it dry, don't put your flour in the pan. Make sure your Bannock's buttered. Not buttered, dusted with flour. This fire's quite hot now, it's pretty fierce. I'm moving it around so it doesn't burn. Plenty of heat still in it, so I'll leave that off. Kettle's boiled. So we leave that a bit now. That Bannock's not going to take long at all. Make my cup of tea and then we'll do the nettles. Right, so I'm going to bung my nettles in now. Oh, there's a fly in there as well. Great. Extra flavour. I've only gathered the tops of the nettles. Tingly hands tonight. Oh, you threw the wrong thing in. Now chicken stock cube, which has gone a bit mushy. Now, there's not a lot of water in here, because I don't want a lot of water in there. I can always put more in, I can't take it out. Right, so I'm going to check my Bannock now. I'll be turning that. I don't want too much heat on it. Ah, shit. Well, the Bannock seems to have risen pretty well, so I'm happy with that. And the soup is simmering away. So the Bannock's definitely done. It's risen, it's about 3 times the size it was. My soup is thickening. There was still too much water in there. So I decided to get a few ramson heads. I'm going to chuck them in as well. Give it a bit of garlicky flavour. I should really have dug some bulbs up, perhaps next time. There we go, all cooked and ready to eat. That's actually pretty good. I can't fault that. If you don't see me for a few weeks, it's because I've poisoned myself. I don't know what it would have been like mine without putting a bit of salt and the stock cube in. It may have been pretty bland. This Bannock turned out great. So I'm sure you don't want to watch me eating this. Well, that's food done. Now often when I do stuff like this, I chuck half of it in the hedge. Don't tell anyone, because it's usually not that good. But that was good. If I say so myself, put a bit too much salt in the soup, but the Bannock was spot on. Bit more ramson leaves perhaps next time. Can't fault, that was great. So thumbs up for the Pathfinder kit. I gotta say, I'm impressed with all my Pathfinder gear. I got quite a few things. So I'm going to clean the pot now, get a cup of tea on, and then I'm going to make some cordage. Yeah, there we are. I'm not going to call this video part 2, because that's all I've really done for the bow drill set is strip. I can never remember it, brambles down. So not very exciting. So next video will probably be part 2, and hopefully I'll do it then. But it's been such a nice day up here in the woods. I really couldn't care less, to be honest with you, because this is for fun. As I've said before, this is my hobby. I thoroughly enjoy doing it. Well, I've tried plaiting the fibres and I've tried twisting the fibres and they're terrible. So the bramble cordage, as far as I'm concerned, is a big fat fail. I'm going to keep the fibres and I'm going to soak them, and I'm going to see if I can make some nice string out of it so it doesn't go to waste. All that work doesn't go to waste. So I got to think of another way now to do the bow drill. It's different cordage, so stay tuned.